I'm Pat Ledden, and I'm the lead vocalist for the Dallas-based metal band Prosthetic. Pretty fucking kick-ass. Prosthetic is a combination, kind of like, it's a mold, I guess you could say, of Michael, who's on the drums, Byron on the lead guitar, Nick on the bass, and me singing, and it's just it's a collaboration of a bunch of crazy fuckers making some pretty exciting shit. Yeah, the swine flu. It's not a pandemic. This is bullshit. Fucking swine flu. Ain't nobody dying from that. But people are gonna be dying from prosthetic, hopefully. Kind of want to be like I really want it to be kind of like a pandemic, and I just want to, not infect one area. I want prosthetic to, infect everything that gets in its way possible, and I want people to be, in 5 years, I'll be able to walk down the street and see somebody wearing a prosthetic shirt or go to a local metal show, and people be just, supporting us, and just, knowing that fans will come out and throw downs with us, guys we've never met before, and they're just, so grateful that we're just making music for people to listen to. Because for a lot of kids and young adults, they like, who go through shit, they have nothing to turn to but to their music. So for some people like me, music is everything. It's like, I don't consider being in this band, a luxury. This is what I do. Like, I feel like this is what I was created to do, was to play with these other three guys, and just make great music. And that's just where we try to come from. Whenever we're writing, this isn't, this is just what we do as a whole, and none of us would be doing what we were doing if it wasn't for the other guys. Like, we all benefit off of each other. One guy would be nothing without the rest of us. So really, prosthetic is nothing. Each one of us represents what prosthetic is. It's not so much about what prosthetic means, other than what it means to us and what we, how we're prosthetic together as a whole is really something special. The band name Prosthetic, when I joined the band, it had an original band name. They called the band The Archetype. And that was something that they had come up with throughout the years. They'd been brainstorming forever, and finding a band name, you can't just sit down and just say, we're getting a band name right now. You can't force a band name, and they called it The Archetype. Whenever I joined the band, I wasn't a huge fan of the name, and I felt whenever I joined the band, it wasn't The Archetype anymore. The Archetype consisted of Nick, Michael, and Byron, and once I got added to the mix, it wasn't The Archetype anymore. A new element had been added to the music, and definitely it changed the feel of the music. Like the sacrament that they had created as The Archetype was altered whenever I joined the band, and that's what turned into Prosthetic. And we had wanted to get a new band name for a long time, and just sat and brainstormed with it, and one day I just woke up and I was just like, it's gonna be Prosthetic. And not necessarily in the sense of us being fake. Prosthetic is fake, but prosthetic is also something that's very unique. Very rarely you're going to see two prosthetics that are exactly the same, and it's something it's fucked up, but it still has a lot of meaning to it. And you can go very deep with the term prosthetic if you can just look past the whole it being fake, and it's definitely something that I think represents me personally and all the other guys in the band. And for all of us, it means something completely different. And I'm hoping with our fans, it'll be the same way. I've seen a bunch of crazy shit as a band and personally at gigs. Like we played a show in Fort Worth just recently, and the guys were out loading gear, and I was doing my walk through the club and thanking all the bands and just being a nice guy throughout the whole place. And I walked outside, and the minute I walked outside, a chick walked out and pointed to one of the guys on our crew and said, "Is this the guy?" And they said, "Yeah." And she walks up and grabs my throat and throws me to the ground outside the club. And the whole time I'm not gonna duke it out with some some methed out chick in the parking lot, So I'm sitting here trying to figure out what's going on, and she stretched out my shirt and everything and was trying to punch me in the face, and and all my friends are sitting there laughing like the assholes that they are. They're all sitting there tailgating, and they're just laughing their asses off. And to this day, I don't really know why that whole chain of events happened, but I'm sure Michael and Byron were behind the whole evil master plan to